Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Nurse Akosia, and today I want us to talk about how to use Alaris pump for beginners. Actually, the reason why I decided to make this video is because when I started out here in the United States, it was quite a challenge for me with the Alaris pump. When you have your preceptor, most of the times they actually go by the checklist that is given to them, and that does not include the Alaris pump. And so sometimes you have to try to figure it out yourself. And some people are just I'm not everybody is the same, so I am the person who likes to play around with stuff just to figure out things for myself. But then I also checked on YouTube and I found out that there wasn't a specific video that actually teaches you a step-by-step guide on how to use the Alaris pump. So I decided to make this. All right, hope this helps. So this is the Alaris pump. We do have the pump itself, which is like the brain of the entire thing. And then on the left side of the picture, you do see the channel. That is the channel. It can be connected and be disconnected. You can actually take it off. And I'm going to show you how to connect a channel and also how to disconnect a channel. So looking at the picture here, we do have the power button here. And then we have the channel, we have the select channel button, we have the pause, we have the channel off, and then we have the restart. So with the channel part, what you do with those here is with the select channel, if you are going to give maybe a medication or a fluid, and whichever channel that you prime, you use your you put your line into, that is the channel that you're going to use. So you select the channel and that is where you're going to select whatever you're going to give. And then the pause is after you set up everything and it's running. And then let's say the patient says, I'd like to use the bathroom, and you have to disconnect it for the patient to go and use the bathroom. You can hit the pause and then you disconnect the line from the patient's IV. And then when they come back and you reconnect it back, you hit the restart and it will continue to give whatever is supposed to be given. And with the channel off, let's say you're done with whatever medication that you're supposed to give through that channel. When you're done, you just turn off that channel. So that is basically what that part is used for. When you look at the part where it says rates, meals per hour, when you select everything, when you program it and it starts running, it's going to show the rate at which the medication is being given. So it's going to show it up here on top here, and it's going to show the medication that is being given on this part here. Also, there are alarms on the pump, and it has different kinds of alarms, and each alarm indicates whatever is wrong. So depending on the alarm, usually when you use it for quite a while, you will be able to determine which alarm means what. And so sometimes we have alarms that means the infusion, the line is blocked at some part. Maybe if it's the patient's side, we have an alarm that shows that the infusion is complete. We have an alarm that shows that there is air in the pump. It's there. You get used to it while you use it. And then we also have the silence button. That is a button that you will have to avoid using because that is what actually alerts you that there's something wrong going on with the infusion or whatever medication that you're given. So when it starts with the alarm, that is going to alert you. You come in there and check whatever is wrong and then correct it. Also, you have to make sure that this is plugged in, especially when you're using it for a patient, because it is chargeable, but you will have to charge it because when it goes on low battery, it's also going to sound the alarm for you to come and plug it in. So yes, the silence button, I would not encourage you to use the silence button because it actually helps you to be able to save your patient. And then we have you know, the numbers are actually for putting in specific orders, like the the rates, like putting in specific rates if you want to put it in there, or for entering patients' names and all that. So this is what these buttons are also used for. So to begin to use the pump, the Alaris pump, you will have to turn the pump on. So you're gonna hit on the power button to turn it on. When you turn it on, this is how it's going to look like. It's going to ask you if it's a new patient. So if it's a new patient, you're going to hit yes. If it's not a new patient, you just hit the no. So when you hit the yes, as in the new patient, it's going to ask you to enter the patient's information. And after, you're going to hit confirm, and then it's going to pick it up. However, if the patient is not a new patient and you hit on the no button, it takes you to a different screen. So actually it depends. When you hit the yes and then you put in all the patient's information, after you put in all the information, it brings you to the screen. If it's a no, it brings you directly to the screen. This is where it asks you whichever unit that you're working in. So if the pump is being used in the critical care or med surg or labor and delivery, you just select that on the left. You see the left arrow? That is where you're going to select it from. And then you confirm. So let's say you selected critical care. Maybe you were in critical care and then you selected that and then you confirmed. This is how it's going to look like. So the channel, as with this pump, it only has one channel. So it has the channel A. It's going to show up on there as channel A. If it has another channel on maybe on the right side of the picture, it's going to show on the next bullet. It's going to show channel B. And depending on how many channels that are connected, maybe a third one, it will be channel C. A fourth one is going to be channel D, and so on. So after you select your channel, it's going to give you the screen where it has the guardrails drug, the guardrails, IV fluids, and the basic infusion. Mostly, we are told not to use the basic infusion because the guardrails are just there to help us with the calculation of medication. So there are no drug errors, calculation errors. So the guardrails drug is just the normal medication that we give, like Flagyl, like vancomycin. They're all in the guardrails drugs. And then when you come to the guardrails IV fluids, it's where you have the D5W, the normal saline. You have all those kinds of fluids in there. And then when it comes to the basic infusion, some people like to use that for, let's say, normal saline. You're given normal saline when you're going to put it in there because sometimes the order comes with the drops per minute. So you just put in the drops per minute. And I'm going to teach you how to use it with the basic infusion. Let's say we're going to give a medication, and so you select the guardrails drug, and it's going to give you a list of medications, like a list of names of medications. And then depending on the name of the medication, let's say we're going to use Meropenum, you're just going to click on, let's say, to make it easier, you can go page down and then go through it. But to make it faster, you just click on K to O because we know M is somewhere in between there. So when you click there, it's going to pop up with all the medication that start with those alphabets. So then we select the Meropenum, and depending on what the order says, most of the times it's a 3-hour infusion, but depending on what the order says, you're going to select the time that is supposed to be infused at. So let's say you select the 3-hour infusion, and then it takes you to the next screen. And when you select the time that is supposed to be run for, it will bring you to the next screen where it's going to ask you the order. Looking at the order, you're going to look at how much is supposed to be given, the strength of the medication, and checking the order. If it's 1 gram, 1 gram is equal to 1,000 milligrams. If it's a 500 milligram in 100 mils, you're going to select that. Depending on whichever the strength is, you're going to select it. So let's say the dosage was 500 milligram in 100 ml, then you select it. and then it will ask you if this is the correct dosing, and then you select yes. If it's no, if it's not the correct dosing, if you made a mistake, you're going to select no. It will take you back, and then you're going to start it all over. However, we're going to move forward. So let's say this is the correct dosing, then you hit yes. This message actually pops up with certain medication just to alert you that this medication is going to run over a certain period. So if it's a 3 hour, it's just alerting you that it's going to run over 3 hours based on the order that was put in. When you recheck and it's supposed to run over 3 hours, you just hit confirm. And it will show you the drag amount, the if it's supposed to be diluted, how much is diluted with, and then the dosage, which is the same as the drug amount, and then it will show you how much is going to be given. So it's going to be given 5 milligrams per meal because it's been diluted with 100 mils. So the calculation has already been done here, and it's showing you how much is going to be given per meal. When you hit the next button, it's going to show you the rate at which it's going to be infused because it's supposed to be run over 3 hours. So it's going to show you the rate, which here automatically has been calculated, and that is what the guardrail is for. And it's going to give you the 33.3 mil per hour. Okay, then after that, everything looks good. You hit the start button, and then it's going to start to infuse. Here, I'm going to show you how to add a secondary infusion or secondary medication to a primary infusion. So after the primary infusion has been set up, um, mostly some people go by the basic infusion. So here I'm going to show you how to use the basic infusion and then to add the secondary infusion. So you hit the basic infusion, and it's going to show you the next screen. So let's say you have normal saline, which is supposed to be run at 10 mil per hour. Mostly the bags that we have for the normal saline, like the infusion, mostly it is 1,000 ml. So the volume that is supposed to be given to the patient, you're going to select the volume to be infused. That is the VTBI, and then you put in the mils, the whole bag, which is 1,000 ml. Sometimes you have 1,500, depending on whichever one you have to use, or 200 or 250. And then the rate, depending on the order, if it's supposed to be maybe 10 mil per hour, you just put in the 10 and it's going to show up there. Then you start. After you started, you come back and select the channel. When you select the channel, the screen is going to look like this again. And then you're going to hit secondary. When you hit the secondary, so it's going to pull the guardrails drag here, just like how it showed up when we were working on the Meropenum. It's going to be exactly like that. You're going to select the Meropenum, and then it's going to ask you for the dosage. It's going to ask you for how long it's going to be infused over, and then you select that one. And then you just hit start, and then the secondary is going to run. When the secondary is completed, the primary infusion will just continue until that one is also done. So that is basically how it you go ahead and use the Alaris pump with regards to primary and secondary, and this is basically what you're going to use the Alaris pump for. After priming your IV line, open the channel, insert the line, and make sure you're inserting the longer side of the lock, just like I'm doing. And then when you're done, you close it. Open the roller clamp all the way. Attach the groove of the channel to the IUI connector, and you should hear a click. Press the blue button below the channel to disconnect the channel.